today we're doing a tag. We're doing the book scenario tag, and we were tagged by Caroline Reedens. So let's jump into these questions.
The hardest questions we've had to answer, honestly.
Okay, number 1. You have to get rid of all of your books, and you can only keep one from each of these genres. Contemporary, fantasy, nonfiction, and one other genre of your choosing. What books do you keep? Mine was for paranormal, which is your own choosing. I chose Significance.
Good book.
For contemporary, The Offer by Karina Hall. And for fantasy, I did A Court of Mist and Fury. And I didn't do nonfiction because I don't really read nonfiction.
So I did high fantasy was my one I chose for myself, and that was Throne of Glass. I did fantasy was Frostbite, and contemporary is Play With Me by Kristen Proby.
Number 2, you're at the bookstore and you hear a teenager telling their mom they don't like to read, but their mom insists they pick something. You walk over and recommend a book you think is great for people who aren't big on reading. What book is it? And I chose Slammed by Colleen Hoover.
Good choice. And I chose Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. Both good books.
Number 3, you're not feeling yourself, need a pick-me-up. Which book do you read to put yourself in a great mood? While It Lasts by Abby Glines.
Oh, that is a good one.
It's my favorite in that series.
And I picked Never Been Kissed by C.M. Cars. It's a nerdy romance.
You go back in time for a day to your teenage years. What book would you most likely have caught yourself reading? And mine would have probably been The Hunger Games.
And mine is City of Bones.
Your friend surprises you with a 4-day trip and you have 1 hour to pack. Which book do you bring to read on the way? And I just said my Kindle.
Same. Mostly because
all of the books are on there so I can choose when I get there. It's easier. Your house has been robbed. Don't worry, everyone is safe, but your bookshelf has been raided. I'd rather have my bookshelf be safe.
Yes.
What's the book you really hope is safe? And mine's The Vampire Academy.
Oh,
I prefer the whole series to be safe.
Yes.
But, you know.
I picked A Court of Thorns and Roses because, well, A, it's signed, and B, it's A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Last one. Your friend borrows a book and returns it in awful condition. Do you A, just pretend you haven't noticed, B, ask them to repurchase it, or C, secretly do the same thing to theirs? I could never hurt another person's book, no matter what, so I'd have them repurchase it.
Same.
Because that's what they need to do. Okay, so since we still have like a bunch of time left on our little thing here,
Yeah, we're gonna
do the New York Time tag. Or maybe it was Unicorn
Oh,
Reads.
Unicorn Reads, yeah, I think it was.
I think, yeah. Okay, so, first question. Let's make sure. What book is on your nightstand right now? And mine is Cress by Marissa Myers.
And mine is Scarlet, which I'm almost done with, by Marissa Myers.
What was the last truly great book that you read? And mine is actually A Court of Mist and Fury. But it's up there with Scarlet because I just finished it.
Yes!
And that's pretty good.
That
So
was
those
good.
2 really are the great books that I just read.
Mine was A Court of Thorns and Roses because I have not read A Court of Mist and Fury yet, which I have a feeling is going to replace that one.
If you could meet only... I can't read my handwriting. If you could meet any writer, dead or alive, who would it be and what would you want to know?
Mine is Victoria Aveyard. She wrote the Red Queen book series, and my question would be I just want to know whether or not my couple that I like is Endgame or not.
I'd want to meet Edgar Allan Poe, and I'm not sure what I would ask him, but I'm sure I'd figure it out when I get there.
Yeah.
I think my first question would be like, why am I here?
That's a good question.
Why am I talking to you? And why am I in this time period? How do I get back home? That's my question.
Unless, of course, you found a Jamie, then you'd stay.
Yes. I don't know. They're not in the same
No,
places.
they're not. That's true, because wasn't he like London?
He was in Philadelphia, I think.
He was from America? I didn't know that.
I think he's from America. Either my history is really wrong or I'm correct.
One or the other. Okay.
What books might we be surprised to find on your bookshelf? Maybe the erotica ones? I don't know. I read a lot of things. I'm not...
I mean, we read everything, so I don't really know if there's a surprise on my bookshelf. The erotic, I guess, would be the closest.
I guess so. How do you organize your personal library? I go by author, but right now my bookshelf is overflowing, so I'm just kind of putting all the books in little crooks and nannies, and so they're not all together by author.
basically wherever she can shove it.
Yeah, wherever they go.
Mine are kind of in a stack as well because I don't actually have a bookshelf, and so mine are like all the books I'm going to read next are on the top, and then they kind of just go down after that. They were by author.
What book have you always meant to read and haven't gotten around to yet? And mine is Teardrop by Lauren Kate. It's on the bottom of my shelf and it's been there for quite a while, but I just don't.
And mine is actually the rest of the Mortal Instruments series because I read the first 3 and then I just kind of fizzled off, and now I really want to read them. So
disappointing, overrated, and just not good. What book did you feel were supposed to like but didn't? Do you remember the last book you didn't finish? The one that I felt like I was supposed to like but didn't was The Glittering Court by Rochelle Mead. I felt like because she was an awesome author and I loved her other series, I had to love this one and it just didn't work. And then I didn't finish The Great Hunt by Wendy Higgins.
So I did the one that I guess I was supposed to like would have been City of Bones. It's a good series, but it's not the best I've ever read. And the last one that I actually really didn't finish was Discovery of Witches. It was an overly hyped book, and the writing was just not that great. I couldn't get into it or connect with the characters.
What kind of stories are you drawn to? Any you stay clear of? I'm drawn mostly to time travel ones where they go back to Scotland or Ireland. And I only stay clear of the really weird ones on Amazon in the ebook section. I got some weird things. I try not to travel into the dark depths of ebooks on Amazon because there's some creepy books on there. So
We have come across some weird titles. I'm usually drawn to the romance in fantasy because I like fantasy deeply, but I also like romance, so it's kind of both. And I agree with Emma, I try to steer clear of the weird stuff on Amazon because there's some really weird stuff out there.
It's hot.
It is.
It's really hot right now. If you could require the president to read one book, what would it be? And I chose Mockingjay.
That's a good choice.
You gotta keep up, President.
I went with The Great Gatsby because there's a lot in there he could learn about ways to deal with things and not to deal with things.
The very last question we have on the list is, what do you plan to read next? And mine is Cress. I'm gonna read that next.
And it's funny because the one I had originally written as next is now the one I'm reading, so Cress will be my next one as well because I'm almost done with Scarlet.
Okay, guys, there was our little tag video. We finally got those finished because we've been tagged for like a few months now. So, you know the drill. You got a thumbs up, you subscribe. We'll have the links to those people's channels below, so you can check those out. Leave us a comment. And we've announced the winner for the Glittering Court giveaway, and that's Beck's Bookshelf.
She's awesome.
Already written her, so she knows, so congratulations.
Hey, Bex.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Yes.
Bye.